Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Welcome back to another Throwback Thursdays review. This time I'm taking a look at what I think is one of the greatest LEGO sets ever made. This is the Joker Manor from the LEGO Batman movie. It's set number 70922. It's got 3,444 pieces, 10 minifigures, most of which are highly desirable exclusives, and it retailed for $269.99 in the US back in 2017. I actually bought this set for Black Friday 2018 from Barnes & Noble, and then they shipped me the wrong set and never actually sent this to me. So I bought it on Facebook Marketplace in like 2021. I did an unboxing video when I got it, actually from people that watch this channel. So if you're watching this video, thank you so much for selling this to me. It's been a set that I've wanted for such a long time, and it definitely lives up to my expectations, so I can't wait to talk about it with all of you. Before we get into the review, though, I do want to remind everyone that I am an employee of the LEGO Group. However, all opinions expressed in these videos are my own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the LEGO Group, and LEGO is a registered trademark of the LEGO Group of companies, which does not sponsor, authorize, or endorse this site. Our first minifigure is a pretty standard version of Batman. He's got the yellow utility belt, he's just in his regular black outfit. He has a soft cape, some back printing, and of course some of those more unique LEGO Batman movie style face prints that I really love because they're so expressive. Next up, we get Barbara Gordon in her police uniform. I like her pistol and the badge printed on her legs, and of course her hairpiece is excellent as always, but I do really wish that we got a suited up version of Batgirl in this set, because everyone else is in their superhero costume, so I think it's kind of lame that she isn't. And speaking of suited up characters, one of the most unique minifigures in this set and a highly desirable exclusive is Nightwing. He looks fantastic. I love all of the little details, like how his cowl is askew. That is a unique mold that is only in this one set. And the shoulder armor was new for this set, but it did appear in a Hidden Side set in 2020 as well. I like the printed bat logo, and I love like the bunched up underwear that he's got going on. He's holding a gun, which I feel like should have a grappling hook, but it doesn't. He has this ridiculously long cape, which also only appears in this set. And he does have some actual wings on his back. And with all of that extra stuff removed, you can see the giant zipper on the back of his costume, his alternate expression, and then of course the printing on the front of his torso, which also looks fantastic. We'll have to zoom in a bit on the figures because my camera really did not want to focus on Alfred, but here he is in the classic 1960s bat suit, which perfectly befits an older gentleman. I really love the color scheme. He looks excellent. It really looks like he just put on the batsuit of one of the classic 60s characters. He has like the tiniest little bit of back printing, but I just love how nostalgic this minifigure is, and I always like seeing that little bald cap hairpiece. He just looks perfect. Next up is the man of the hour, the Joker himself. This is his standard like waistcoat version without like the purple jacket that goes over his arms and everything. He looks good, love the torso and leg print, and I really love the dual molded and printed arms. I didn't used to like this Joker minifigure like back in 2017. He's cool, but I don't know, there was something about him that I just didn't love. I guess the exaggerated features with the hair and the smile, and I still don't like love him, but because the character in the movie is so great, it's just so wonderful to see him. Next up, we have probably my number one favorite DC character, Harley Quinn. She looks excellent with the dual tone red and black. I far prefer the red and black to the blue and red, so I love seeing like her classic color scheme. She's wearing a Smilex shirt that's kind of smudged, but that is purposeful. What's not purposeful is the terrible printing on her legs. That's just awful in a set this expensive. Like, that is supposed to be white right there. That's supposed to be skin showing through. It's really bad. But I love that she's wearing her roller skates. I really like that she comes with a printed bat with her 3 diamonds. And her printed arms are really nice, although the white printing could be a little bit better on them as well. This hairpiece was brand new back in the day. I love the bowling pin print on the back of her shirt. And she does have little skulls printed on the other side of her arm. And if I take off that excellent dual molded hairpiece, you can see her face print better, as well as her alternate face, which I don't actually like. This face looks like the actress Jenny Slate, even though it's like a Lego minifigure, but I just don't like this expression for Harley. Our final four minifigures are just excellent exclusives. I love them so much. This is Disco Batman from the Friends Are Family end credits dance sequence. And as you can see, he's decked out in white with like this glittery torso, a white cowl, which is not exclusive to this minifigure, but it is extremely rare. And then he has this like epic dual tone, shiny gold, and then like flat white cape. This minifigure is just excellent. All of these figures are super expensive. You can see some of his back printing there. This guy goes for an average of 150 US dollars new on Bricklink. That's like the last 6 months price guide. That's where I'm getting this information. And that's just nuts. But I love getting an all white Batman minifigure. I just think it's really cool. What I don't think is cool is the lack of leg and arm printing. This is the least detailed Disco minifigure out of the 6 that were released, 4 in this set and 2 in the Lego Batman Movie Series 2 CMF series. And he needed printed arms, he needed printed legs. He just looks so plain compared to everyone else. I do really like his face print as well, though, so let me put his cape back down because he's got these blue eyes that are printed on that headband, and he is super, super happy to be celebrating with his friends. Disco Batgirl is officially one of the coolest Lego minifigures I own. Like, seriously, this is definitely one of my favorite DC minifigures, and I feel like it's up there in like my at least my top 20 minifigures of all time because she is just insane. That white cowl is exclusive to this figure. I love the white and gold. She has way more gold in her costume than anyone else because of the dual molded boots. She has like that whole kind of chest section in gold, and I also like that she comes with a white utility belt, because even though Batman and Robin have utility belts on their normal costumes just like Batgirl, they also don't get that piece with their disco minifigure variants, so she really feels like the most complete by far. I love the printing on the legs, I love the printing on the arms complete with the sparkles, and even the printing going down into the sides of the legs. This is how you do an exclusive minifigure for a $270 set. This thing is just utter perfection, and I love it so, so much. I do have her ponytail kind of flying out to the side so that it doesn't damage the middle of the cape, but this is the exact same cape as Batman, and I'm just going to take that off. You can see her alternate face up there, but if I lift that up, there is her back printing, and this also gives you a little bit of a better look at the arm printing. I'm obsessed with this minifigure. It's just perfect in every way. Next up, we have Disco Robin. I don't know if I said the price on Batgirl, but she goes for about $71 new. He goes for about $27, so he's the least desirable out of all of these. I do like his torso print. I like his leg print, although, again, I think he should have the utility belt. He looks kind of incomplete without it to me. But I like the boot printing. He has dual molded arms. He has a different cape from Batgirl and Batman because Robin's capes are shorter. But yeah, other than that, I mean, he's a disco version of the regular Robin minifigure, you know? I don't think he's as special as Batgirl or Batman, but he's still a great inclusion, especially because this is, of course, his song that he wanted to sing. And last but not least, we have Disco Joker. I believe he sells for about $50 new. Kind of surprised he doesn't go for more, honestly. But I really like this figure. I love the hairpiece because it really contrasts with the white outfit. I love his fur collar. That was Craven's collar from Spider-Man, so it was only a year old at this point when this set came out. And it's been used a lot since then, but at the time it was still really rare to see it. I love his J necklace and his crazy sunglasses because he looks like a blinged out rapper, and I think that that's hilarious. It's very fitting for the Joker, and it has a lot of personality. I like his leg printing. Again, kind of wish he had arm printing, but I don't miss it the way that I do on Batman. He has a big J on the back of his torso, and then he does have these white, like, waistcoat tails, and that is exclusive in white. And then I do think he has an alternate face as well, and that's just him kind of looking cool, and so I really like that. The Joker Manor is a work of art. This set is just so beautiful. It is pretty tall, so I'm like super far back from my desk so that I can fit it all in frame. But as you can see, it's just Wayne Manor, and the Joker's taken it over just like he does in the Lego Batman movie. Everything is super scaled down so that it fits in like a reasonably sized Lego set. And of course, reasonably sized is subjective because I'm pretty sure this was the biggest DC set ever made when it came out, since it had like almost 3,500 pieces. But it just packs such a visual punch. Like, it's such a cool display piece. It's just so popping. So I think we should just zoom in and take a closer look at the exterior because there's just too much to look at here. Starting at the very front of the house, Joker has completely taken over Wayne Manor. Like, there's no even semblance of the Wayne Manor doors left. Instead, you just have like this huge bomb style entrance. And I love this area. Like, the lime green stands out so much from the gray of the manor behind it. And I really like the spring yellowish green, dark green, and then like the magenta and pink color scheme here. Like, it just looks really good. Honestly, building this set was really interesting because this was super detailed for 2017, but it does feel way less detailed by today's standards. It's a fantastic display piece. It's still extremely detailed. I just feel like today, this kind of assembly would be built using a lot more pieces. But around the crazy carnival style entrance, which I think my favorite parts are like these spikes of light that are just popping out. It looks so good. You do have a couple of bombs, and these are built using hot dog pieces, which I think is a pretty great building technique. And they're just kind of slotted in there. So honestly, they're like pretty easily removable, but I don't know why you would want to remove them because I think that they do look good. And you do have like some small semblance of the Wayne Manor entry around here with these like gray steps and then, formal looking marble ball finials or whatever they're called. And yeah, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. You do have a giant roller coaster track running along this entire mansion. And this was the very first set to introduce those roller coaster track pieces, actually. I'm sure they were designed for the Creator Expert roller coaster that came out the following year, but they were new at the time, and they look excellent in purple. I don't think they've ever been made in purple again, but we'll take a closer look at the roller coaster itself, I think at the end of the review after we do the interior and everything. You do have a couple of boxing gloves behind like the lime green parts, and you can see some of the Technic mechanisms sticking out, because they do move. There's like a huge knob on the back of the manor, and actually I'm going to have to tilt this so I can get my arm around. But if you spin this dial at the back, the gloves will kind of punch out. And so I think that's a really cool effect. It's kind of hard to get an arm around there. I just broke off a flag, on camera, but it's pretty easy in person. And it's a simple thing, but it really does make the entrance feel even more exciting. I particularly love this side of the manor. I'm actually going to send the roller coaster back to its starting point, but I love the brick built haha signs. They're just so cute. I mean, they're so perfect. Again, they really add a lot of visual flair. This whole set I still think is just one of the coolest display pieces ever made by Lego. And these haha signs, that you can adjust them. I think the parts are like a little bit stiff because they're so old, but you can like tilt them in all sorts of crazy angles. The only thing is that Nightwing's armor does kind of hit them sometimes, this sign in particular, when he's on the roller coaster. So you might want to just angle them in such a way that they're out of like all the characters' way. But I love how much you can like tilt them and just have them looking crazy. And I honestly can't even settle on how exactly I like them best. I also really like the supports for the roller coaster. I mean, they do not feel super strong while building the set, but once the tracks are on there, they feel pretty strong. And I like just like their kind of ramshackle aesthetic with these wood beams going across the Technic pieces. And I do like the industrial areas. I mean, like this Technic part back here maybe could have been finished off a little bit better because there's purple tiles on the one at the bottom. So I would have loved some purple tiles up here. But I really like how you can see the facade of Wayne Manor peeking out from behind like all of the Jokerization. He has tinted all of the windows different colors. So you've got like green, yellow, blue, clear windows, which I'm sure are what were there originally, and then you have pink. And the manor itself looks good, but it also looks pretty boring. Like, it's a good boring, as in it's well built, but I mean, it's just an old timey manor house. I can see why Joker wanted to give it a makeover. I do love the masonry brick details, and I really like the use of these bricks just to add some texture in there. There is also some interesting upside down building, like that was a pretty nice technique for 2017. And the roof sections are built pretty well. This side of the manor is taller than the other side, but they're built in exactly the same style. So I just like the use of like the little angled 1x2 pieces. I like the little windows. The red roofs look great, and I do like the little pink flags that Joker has topped them off with. Behind the boxing gloves, which I will just kind of force them to scrunch down, we do have these little white windows. There's no glass in them, though. I mean, I guess there is no curved window glass. It's only like you could only have like barred windows, and yeah, that's not really what you want for Wayne Manor. So I totally get why there's not glass in those. Actually, I just wish that there was a glass piece because I don't like being able to stick my finger through there. But those white windows do set them apart from the rest of the manor. And like I said, the other side of the manor is just exactly the same. It's like one floor shorter, but it's pretty much the exact same detailing. And honestly, there's not much else to say about the way the manor is built. This side is a little bit more interesting because it has a support coming out of the wall. So I like the way that looks. But other than that, the sides of the manor are just these like big wall panel pieces. So, like I said, it looks good, but I definitely think it looks better as a backdrop for the Jokerification than if we had actually gotten a Wayne Manor build. And actually, the last bit of Wayne Manor detail I want to talk about is behind the boxing gloves. Can I pull these out? I mean, I don't know if that's good for them, but I do like the way that these things are built with the little micro figures from the games. I think that that's a nice decorative feature on the front. Although, if you have the boxing gloves collapsed, you're never really going to see them. Moving up a level, you have this huge brick built Joker sign, which looks fantastic. It's very flimsily attached, I have to say. It's just on like a regular 4x4 turntable, so it has broken off pretty easily. You can move it a little bit, but it does just kind of naturally tilt down to here because this side is heavier. I don't think this would be built like this today. In 2024, I think that this would be like built very differently because again, it just feels kind of flimsy. I know it's a display set more than a play set, but I don't know. I mean, this set is still really designed for play with the roller coaster and everything, so it just feels kind of weird to have such a fragile sign. But it's really not that big of a deal. It looks good, and it's not going to break off just by looking at it. That is a sticker, and these three Joker face stickers, I had always kind of dreaded them. I never thought that they looked particularly good, but I did try to line them up as closely as possible, and from a distance, they definitely look fine. Lego doesn't do stickers across multiple pieces anymore, so this is kind of the best that you're going to get. I also like the dark pink border because, again, that really sets it apart from the rest of the building because the only other dark pink is just that little stripe down at the front entrance. The other brick built letters, like the sticker is fine, but the brick built lettering really looks great. Up close, it's kind of hard to tell. Like when I was building, I couldn't really see the lettering, but from a distance, again, it really pops. That's just the best way to describe this set. And then at the very top, no, that is not the Eye of Sauron, which a lot of people like thought it was when the set was revealed. But Joker's mansion in the movie did have like its own little eye tower. But yeah, when this set was revealed in 2017, I was like, oh, well, this is the closest we're ever going to get to Lego Barad-dûr. And now look, it's June 2024, and we have our own Lego Barad-dûr. So honestly, I'd love to display Barad-dûr next to this, but I sent my Barad-dûr set to Michigan, so I'll build it at Thanksgiving. And this set is here with me in California, so they will probably never meet each other. But this eye looks great. I mean, I really like the whole surrounding area. There are these like movable flags, but again, as you can see, it's just kind of fragile. Like these building techniques were totally fine for 2017, but ever since like the more adult focused sets have started coming out in the 2020s, they just feel like a huge step down to me, even though like it's what I grew up on. But yeah, you can kind of adjust these. They're supposed to be like Joker's fake guns, that blast out the flags, and I think they look good. The yellow, again, more of a different color, really sets it apart from the rest of the Joker stuff. I particularly like the way that like the base of the eye is built up, and it's just using like these two big half circle like cockpit pieces, and I like that it kind of has a wizard hat on top, but it can spin 360 degrees, and you'll see that there is this axle sticking out of the back, and that lets you adjust the actual eye part. And so that's just, again, another welcome feature because then you can actually make it look like it's staring at Batman and his friends. But the exterior of the set is nothing compared to the interior. I love the way this has been done. Basically, the left and right wings of the mansion are still Wayne Manor and are packed full of references to the Lego Batman movie, but the entire central tower section has been totally Jokerfied. And it's just a really interesting clash of styles, and it looks perfect. I guess it's best to talk about what's in front of us, so I guess it's time for the roller coaster. Here's the roller coaster. This is where it starts. It does kind of stick into the middle of the manor, but it's just got this little yellow ladder leading up to it. there is a control panel down there, and it says ha, 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 and ha, 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 I think. I don't know how many ha's there are there. But yeah, those are the three settings. So the most laughs, I guess, is the worst, right? Because maybe it's going to like send them all flying. I do like the roller coaster carts. You know, there's like a mouth on the front of this one. So let me just kind of take that off the track. It's very Jokery, right? With the green and the magenta and everything. And I guess I'll just get Joker because he's the minifigure with the least amount of stuff to demonstrate it. So he just sits right here. The seats aren't really like built into like the roller coaster cart. Like they seem a little bit too high up to me. But yeah, the minifigures are just kind of secured by the lap bar. And then you can send them. I mean, let me try zooming out a little bit more. I have to move my camera back. But then you can send them like all around the manor. And I mean, let me see if I can give them a strong enough push to actually make it all the way around, because I haven't tried this. And I can't really get it up the hill. Yeah, I can't get it up the hill at the front of the manor. He keeps just getting caught back there. But I guess if you kind of push him up and there we go. Now he's making his way around. Then he'll come around the bend over here, just like that, and then he goes down. But yeah, they can't really go on like a full circuit. You know, you need to push them around. Like you can't just give them one good shove and then have them zoom around the manor. And it is a little bit hard to demonstrate on camera. So for me, the roller coaster is more for the aesthetic than the actual playability. And actually, let's just finish with the rest of the Joker-y interior first, instead of going like left to right or something like that. At the base here, we have a little fun house, and this area is kind of hard to see into because it's got the roller coaster track in the middle of it. So let me just go ahead and break off this section of track so that it's easier to see inside. You have 4 different funhouse mirrors. These were new molds for this set, and they haven't really been used again since. I think that they were used in an Aladdin set. That's where I have one from. But as far as I know, they've only been used in a couple of sets. They have reflective stickers placed on them. So these are functional funhouse mirrors. If you put a minifigure in front of them, they look all distorted. So I think that that's really cool. Here, I'll take my precious Batgirl and put her in front of this one. And yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, it really works. And I think that that is amazing. That is like a really cool working feature, and it's so on brand for a clown. But this area is super cramped. It's so deep, it's really hard to get your hands in. I mean, maybe it's easier for kids with smaller hands, but again, once you remove the track, it's super easy. But a lot of the interior is kind of blocked off by the roller coaster track, so that is a little bit of a downside. And I also don't like how only these 2 mirrors are actually like functional. The other ones still work, but they're so tucked into the corner, it's like hard to ever get a good look at them, and there's no studs to place minifigures on there, so they just feel kind of like superfluous, but I'm still glad they're included. This giant like fake flower dial, this is what controls those punching hands at the front of the manor. And then you do have some cool signs around this really disturbing clown face. This thing kind of gives me the creeps, but I mean, it looks really good. I like the color scheme a lot. You have like this BAM sign, which like the haha sign can be adjusted in a few different directions. That is just a sticker, but I really like the brick built arrows, like pointing at where you go. So you have an arrow pointing into the mouth and then an arrow pointing down. And as you can see, there is a slide inside the mouth. So what does that mean? It means that there's a trap, because of course there is. It's the Joker. What do you expect? This is what I love about the Joker. I love the carnival funhouse type things like that Jokerland set. So in here you have, I mean, it's honestly kind of hard to see, but there's a little red and white checkered floor pattern there. And I'm just going to set my camera back down. So if you put a minifigure up there, I have no idea what they would be doing up here. Maybe they're just, chilling out. Maybe they were trying to get a good lookout, a good vantage point on like the tower or something. But Barbara, stand up. But if you manage to get a minifigure standing in there, and then you pull out that big green disc, let me push this back a little bit so you can see the full effect. So if you pull out this green disc, that is a trapdoor, and they come sliding out of the mouth. Now, she got stuck because of her pistol, but hopefully if she didn't have one, she would just kind of slide out here. And I don't really know what the point of this is, because she doesn't really land in the funhouse. She kind of just lands on the roller coaster track. So maybe the idea is that you're supposed to land in the roller coaster cart, but the roller coaster cart stops there, which is like just barely out of reach of the minifigure that's falling out of the mouth. So this whole thing doesn't make a lot of sense to me because I feel like the arrows are saying that you're supposed to fall into the roller coaster, and that would make a lot of sense, and that would be really fun. I mean, for the Joker, right? To trap your enemies, they fall down a slide, they fall onto your roller coaster of doom, and then you like send them for a ride. But the way the set is built, it's just not actually designed that way, and it's just really confusing to me because if this part was moved like literally just a couple of studs over here, it would work way better. And I do feel like there was a way to do that because there is like a short section of roller coaster track that's used right here, like one of those sections that's only like that long. So if that section of track was moved to right here, the whole track system I feel like should still be able to work as intended. I don't know, maybe it would have needed some rebuilding. I'm not thinking about it that hard, but yeah, it just feels like this one like section of the set, it feels like there's a couple of play features that are supposed to work in tandem and they just don't really work together. But I really like the storage boxes that are kept in this area by the mouth. You have this one that says evil plans and it says do not open with a bat logo. And in here, I think this is just supposed to be a whoopee cushion. It's just like a couple of tiles. But I mean, it's a round yellow thing, and the Joker's a clown, so I'm guessing it's a whoopee cushion. But I really like what's in the other one because this one just says jokes on it, and it has another like no Batman logo. But inside this one are some family photos that the Joker. Sorry, I did not realize that that was off camera. I'm very sorry. Yeah, it's some family photos that the Joker took down. So you have like Bruce Wayne's headshot, I guess, his little like gala portrait. And then you have this classic image from the movie of him with his parents, you know, right before they get shot and killed in the alleyway. So that's dark, but it's nice. And I really like that that's included because there are Joker versions of those photos on the wall, which we'll take a closer look at in a second. But I'm glad that you just get the option to swap them out with the ones you see in the movie. Okay, because we were talking about the family photos, I guess we should start on this side of the mansion. I love the giant fireplace. Wayne Manor had so many giant fireplaces in the Lego Batman movie. It's really great to see one represented here. And I like the combination of stickered and brick built detail. I think it really works to great effect. It's nice to have the physical piece, but it's also nice to have the sticker to, again, give it a little bit more oomph. And I do like the, you know, like the white outline of the fireplace. There's also a great brick built piano here, which let me make sure the camera is actually focused on it. It says a new track, and so clearly Bruce is writing some music. And there's also a little bust in the corner. And again, this is 2017. We've gotten a lot of busts like this since, but apart from this and like the one in the classic TV series Batcave that came out a year before this, I feel like this was still a relatively recent thing to see in sets. You are going to notice something though, and that's that a lot of the interior details are really crammed together because like the focus of this set is on the Joker stuff, not the Wayne Manor stuff. I'm glad we get everything, but everything just feels super squished, you know, like the fireplace is literally butting right up against like the Carnival Funhouse mirror. So everything being like super squashed together and at the mercy of the Joker's amusement stuff, it does like take away from it a little bit, even though like the individual things still look great. And then on the level above them, you will see the Joker photos. So you have Joker doing like the exact same thing that Bruce was doing. And then you have him outside Arkham Asylum. He's accompanied by Harley Quinn and Penguin. And I just think that that's so funny. I actually didn't even notice those details in the picture until just now. I guess when I was building, I didn't take a close enough look at it. But that's just adorable. I don't know why Penguin is there though. Like Penguin and Joker aren't like that buddy buddy, are they? But as you can see, this walkway is like super thin. There is not even space to put a minifigure in front of these pictures admiring them. And that's another problem I have. You'll see that the floors, like the depth of the floors on the ground floor are pretty good. Like that's great. That's a nice amount of space. Then you have these rooms that have like an okay amount of space, but I hate how they just fade out into the walkways. Like I really think that there should be a consistent floor length, like of this length going down the whole thing. Because again, it just makes everything look squished. I get that if there were plates there, then it would make it even harder to see the fireplace. But right now, like the movie theater chair, just it's like facing open, empty space. It doesn't make any sense. and I don't really like that layout. And because Bruce stands there admiring his photos in the Lego Batman movie in multiple scenes, I really think there should have been space to put him in front of the pictures. But that being said, the movie theater area looks really nice. I mean, for how small it is, I like that there are curtains covering the windows. There is this stickered movie screen, and this is not what he was watching in the Lego Batman movie. He was watching a Tom Cruise movie, but I guess they couldn't get the rights to that, so it's someone being proposed to. And you do have this great printed 2x3 tile. It is Forever Sorting 2. And I think that Forever Sorting was one of the movies advertised in the Palace Cinema set. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was. And so, if so, that's some nice continuity. You do have a little bowl of popcorn next to his singular recliner. And then, I hope it's not too dark in here, but up top you can just see some different lights for the projector. And this is the same room where the roller coaster support is coming out of the side. The left side of the mansion is the kitchen, but as you can see, it's kind of hard to get in there with the roller coaster in the way. So once again, let's just break it apart. I do really like the kitchen area. So starting on the left, you have like the actual kitchen counter. Those are some printed lemon pieces. So he's cutting up a lemon. That dagger is just sitting on the cutting board. It's not secured to anything. But I love the way the counter is built. If only there was like a sink, that would be nice. But it's got a mug on the counter, like a couple of pots and pans hanging at the top, and then some spilled coffee or hot chocolate on the floor, which is another really nice little detail. And then, of course, another iconic part of the movie, you have Bruce Wayne's microwave. I like that sticker for the control panel. And this thing is huge. This is like the biggest microwave in human existence. You could fit a whole person in there, but it has to be openable, and you need to be able to put his lobster thermidor in there. And I don't trust my fingers to get that out on camera, so I'm taking the tweezers that I use to apply my stickers. And there is his plate with the lobster thermidor. This piece is pretty rare. I think it's only in this set and the CMF series. And then you have another slice of printed lemon, but the plate is not printed. It was printed in the first CMF series, but it is not printed in this set. But that's still a great reference to the movie. Moving up to the second level hallway, this is Bruce Wayne's music studio floor. So he has a picture of him rapping with someone. I don't know if that's supposed to be like an actual musical artist or a reference to someone, but I do like the printed record on the wall, and that is a great guitar piece. I really like this space. And honestly, this makes more sense that like it's inaccessible to minifigures, because this does seem like the kind of stuff he would just have hanging on a wall. And then his recording studio is over here. He has a microphone right behind his chair, which unfortunately is just on a jumper, so it can rotate, but it breaks off really easily. I wish it was on a 2x2 turntable. I think that that would make way more sense. And he can't actually turn all the way around to like sing into the microphone. So yeah, the interiors of this set suffer from being so small. And I mean, his chair it's a little bit built up. It's a fine build, but I've definitely seen better, I think. And then here is his recording setup. I hope you can kind of see the sticker in there, because I mean, I'll take this speaker off, but yeah, it's not really easier to get in there. You have some printed control stuff and a printed keyboard as well. And this is one of my favorite areas in this set. It is Bruce Wayne's indoor swimming pool. So it makes sense that it's dark, because indoor swimming pools are quite dark, but it's very nicely tiled over. And then there is this beautiful sticker on the wall showing like some classic indoor pool tiling. And I don't know, like I have really fond memories of swimming in indoor pools, like in India, whenever I would go to visit my family as a kid. And so I like seeing an indoor pool represented in the set. I do think it's really confusing that it's on the third floor. Honestly, it would have made way more sense on the ground floor, or I guess even the second floor, but then the hallway wouldn't have made sense. So yeah, the layout of this set, again, it's all Joker first, Bruce Wayne second. And then this little attic space has a box of Bat merch and a Wild Styles box. That's the only reference to her. She wasn't even referenced in the Lego Batman movie, but I like that she was referenced in this set. There's nothing in those boxes, though. They're just bricks. There's a rat up there. And then there is a bat hanging in the rafters of the roof, and there was one on the other side, too. Here are the extra parts. This was back in the days when Lego would give us so many extra pieces. Like you can just see all the extra utility belts and everything. And then here are the two sticker sheets. You had one regular sticker sheet. It wasn't too many stickers. I think it was an okay amount. And then these were the mirrored ones for those Funhouse mirrors. I bought this set without a box, so unfortunately I can't show that, but the instruction manual does have the same artwork. It's like the Wave 2 Lego Batman movie style artwork, but with this crazy Joker graffiti all over it. So, I mean, I think it's a really cool design. At the back of the instructions, as you can see, it's like a huge, huge manual. But at the back, you do have some play features. And I think these are the same images that would be on the back of the box. So that's nice to know about. And then you have pictures for, I think this was the last wave of Lego Batman movie sets. And I do have all of these now that I've reviewed the Bat Dune buggy recently. The Joker Manor is an incredible set. I do have my complaints. I think all of the interior details are amazing. I just hate how squished they are. I mean, I like the layout of the set. It's just that something about it feels very slightly off. But to be honest, it's really the fact that the designers tried to cram in all of the Wayne Manor references without making a boring Wayne Manor set. And I'm fine with that because it's way more fun that it's the Joker Manor. I do think if this set was made in 2024, it would be $500 and like much better balance all of the references without cramming them into like being overtaken by the Joker stuff. I just feel like this set would be 1.5 times bigger if it was released in 2024, and the Wayne stuff would have more space to breathe away from the center of the Joker stuff. But this set came out in 2017, not in 2024. And I think that this is an excellent set for 2017, and I still think it's an excellent set today. Honestly, this might be one of my favorite Lego sets ever because even though I have my complaints with the interior, it's just so iconic. It's just so much fun. I think the Lego Batman movie is just such a good movie. I think it's probably my favorite DC movie, to be honest, although maybe the Batman is. But it was just such a great time to be a Lego fan, and I'm so happy that I finally have this set. I paid 500 US dollars for it, so that's a far cry from like the 200-ish I paid during Black Friday, and I still hate you, Barnes & Noble, for sending me the wrong set. They sent me the Silent Mary from Pirates of the Caribbean, which I already had. Ugh, I could have had this so long ago. But yeah, I paid $500 on Facebook Marketplace for a set with no box, but all bags sealed. I'm okay with that price. I think that that was a good deal because again, that's how much that this set means to me. Nowadays it's like $550 new in box, and I do wish I had the box. I was totally fine not getting the box and saving some money, but the box was just so beautiful with all the graffiti on it. So you can find it for $550 sealed on Bricklink, but that's like shipped from Australia. If you're in the US, the minimum price is like over $700. And I don't really think this set is worth that. For me, if you can find an iconic old retired set like this for, like double what it was originally, I think that's okay. But once you start getting into like 2.5, 3 times what it was originally, I don't think you should spend $750 on this set today. I do think it's a must have for Batman fans, though, especially because of those incredible disco minifigures. Like, I'm going to be thinking about that Batgirl for so long because she's just so good. It's just hard to judge the value of a set that's been retired for like 5 or 6 years, because it's totally subjective. I think that this set was well worth what I paid for it, but some other people won't think that. So I recommend getting it if you're a Lego Batman movie fan and you can find it for a good price. But if you can't find like a good deal on it, then I don't think there's any rush to get it. You might as well buy new Batman sets. Although there is no Batman set like this currently, and I don't know if there will be again because it's so unique. But that's all I can really say about the Joker Manor. I'm just thrilled to finally own it and be able to do a YouTube video about it. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com. And I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.